Hi! Woo! Yeah! Oh, hello, hello. Oh, I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, how I love you. Let me count the ways. I love you, 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 I love you. Oh, hello. Hi. Let's all have a party. In my mouth. I'm just kidding. It's like a party in my mouth and you guys aren't invited. I'm just kidding. And, hello. Today, I will be playing some Rust Zombies and some Final Fantasy XI and some World of Warcraft SoD and some EVE Online and a lot of games. And if you don't like it, don't watch. And that's all I have for you. That is all I have to say to you. Big heart sign. Today, I took care of. Daily chores, and I saw my family, and I did stuff for them. I ate French onion soup for lunch with sourdough bread, all homemade, all keto, all fucking wonderful. And oh, the aftertaste, I can still taste it, so good. And then I got online. My door's open. It's sunny out. It's not cold. It's like about 57, something like that. So I was able to pop my door today, and I've got some beautiful sun and some beautiful air. I got some exercise. The big exercise day is coming tomorrow. I've always had stuff I had to do in the morning the last like 4 days, but tomorrow I'm completely open and I get to go walking for like 2 hours, and that's gonna be fun. And we have a 12 to 14 hour video game session in front of us. This is all the big face I'm gonna do to you today. I know it's oh man, it's like torture, isn't it? I'm just kidding. And so we're gonna deactivate, and we're gonna activate. And we are playing some Final Fantasy XI with some emo music going on in the background that's kind of strong. So we're just gonna tune it down a little bit. Turn it down just a little bit. Yeah, like it's there faintly, but I don't want it like getting too in there, like where it's not even like very aware. You guys aren't even barely aware of it, and it's not bothering me at all. Oh, and of course it is exactly 9 p.m. to the second of when I start the stream and get to playing Rust. So we'll just go right back inside and do nothing and wait, which is unfortunate. But the good news is oh, I have other stuff I need to do anyway. So this ship is not mining yet. Kowalajek. Okay, I'm gonna summon a tiger. Tiger. Tiger! Tiger! Tiger uppercut! Tiger! Tiger! Tiger uppercut! The gas is too weak, I think. Yeah. I'm here for ice and eyes. Oh, did you aggro? No, nothing aggro. Oh, yes, you did. You did. You aggroed. Oh, damn it. Stupid bad eye. Die. Alright, we're gonna fight that for a while. I'm gonna play some Rust. Let's go see how my wood base did. But I don't have a light source, so... She is mining, right? Yes, she is. Or, well, I am, but is the alt? Yeah, the alt is, yeah. I don't know, my normal spot will not suffice. I should technically leave this place. Oh, wait, no, I'm going the right way anyways, though. I should technically leave this place and go to Zarkabard now, but I want to ding first. I want the last 4K. Because one more level will make it, will lock me out of this place permanently anyways, I think, really. Some of the stuff will still give XP, like 50 XP or something like that. But the kills will take 3 minutes and they'll only pay like 50 XP. That's how you know you're in the wrong place. And, like, you can kill them, and it's easy. Like this, like... See, the Bad Eyes right now is dying in, like, 7 hits now, or something like that. Like, yep, there's, like, 2 hits, and he's already at half health. So, like, you know... So, sort of, like, you know... But it's still a slow game. If you spend all your time making 50 XP, you won't get anywhere. You've got to actually try and be competitive on the Decent Challenge level. Decent Challenge is Valdunia / Castle Javal. Probably the west side of Zarkabard. And, yeah, like, the west side of Zarkabard is not a hospitable place. It's full of skeletons and eyes and elementals and demons, and it's snowbound, and it's fucked up, and it's, like, they're all casters. Like, almost everything there is casters. They're all, like, you know, they're all, like, nasty variations of casters. Like, Dark Knight is particularly nasty. Can be nasty because they, like, stun you, and they'll do, like, fire too, even though they're a fucking Dark Knight. And, like, you know, you know, shit like that. There's the actual Black Mage demons, which are just the demon spawn. They're, like, full-blown Black Mages. And, like, all the rest of the assortment of goblins and ghouls out there in the traditional Final Fantasy Dungeons and Dragons sense, where, yeah, if you get 2 of them, you're dead. You're dead 5 minutes later, but you're still dead. And, like, you know, dead pretty quick, too. If one of them floods you, it might not be 5 minutes. It might be 45 seconds. If they open flood, you can't do anything because you don't have a stun or some kind of, like, thing, because, you know, most classes don't. Most classes don't have a response to fucking flare, you know? There's only a few. There's, like, White Mage can silence, Red Mage can silence. Both of them can... I'm sorry, Red Mage can silence, White Mage can silence. Black Mage can stun. Dark Knight can stun. That's it. Either stun or silence are the only two... I mean, you could paralyze and hope that they don't get the spell off, but you really need pretty much stun or sleep. The other one is Bard, and then Red Mage can also, and Black Mage can also do sleeps. Sleeps can interrupt spells, can and will, and sleeps are the best way to interrupt spells, kind of. Because they're usually cheap, and you can usually kind of keep spinning them, like Faux Lullaby, Horde Lullaby. You can keep twisting those to try and stop mobs from casting and stuff. Like this guy, he's casting. I can't do anything. There's no response to that. I don't have any way to do anything about that. There's not, you know. It's like being a rogue. I mean, it's not like being a rogue. It's like being a rogue with no kick. You can't stop most of the spells in this game. They just go through, and they hurt. So if it's ancient magic, which is like, you know, something like Meteor, Comet, Ultima, higher level stuff, you know, that was really famous in the Final Fantasy legend. Like, you know, stuff like Ultima. Oh, God. Ultima isn't the usual one. It's usually Flare, Burst, and Freeze. That's fire, ice, and lightning or whatever. Flare, Burst, and Freeze, respectively. And Flare, Burst, and Freeze, they'll do upwards of 750 to 1400 damage in a 60-second cast, I think, or something like that. It's like the whole time and it's longer than that. It's like 45 seconds or something like that. But the mob casts for like 45 seconds. Think of it as like a doom spell, right? Oh, this Furrier is aggroed. Like, it's like a doom spell, and like if you let that spell go off, or if you don't get out of range, and they can't move while they're casting it, so you just run. They're like, fuck you, from hell's heart I stab at you, and they just decide to put their whole life force into like casting the worst spell that they can think of that takes like 45 fucking seconds, and it's like basically like the essence of a volcano, or the essence of like of the bottom of the ocean in a glacier, or the essence of like a, you know, like a fucking full-blown chain lightning storm or whatever, for like ball lightning storm, and like they slam you with it trying to like mortally blow you, and if you don't have a response to that, you're fucked. And what tends to happen is you're fighting some melee mob, the black mage gets on you and does AM, is what we call it. It's called AM, it's ancient magic, and they like get on you and they ancient magic you. And like, it takes them 45 seconds to cast it, and most likely you're going to interrupt them, but maybe you don't. Maybe they're the same level as you or higher, in which case you probably won't. And so, like, you know, or if they're a decent challenge, you might, but it's still sort of iffy. I'd say it's like 50-50. If they're easy prey, you probably will. Like, I would say decent challenge is like 50-50. If it's tougher or higher, it's like very unlikely that you will interrupt that spell. And that spell is like the worst alpha I've ever seen in any game. Imagine if you walked up to a mob in WoW and it just started casting, and you're like, what the fuck, I don't have a kick, and you're just like watching it, and for 10 whole seconds it just tunes up, and it's not mailing you, it's not doing anything, and then finally it comes through, and it's like it casts a doom spell on you, essentially, and it comes through and it does 90% of your fucking bar. It cripples you down to like one spell from death, or one hit from death. That's what ancient magic is. It's fucked up. It's like getting hit by a nuclear bomb. It's like the same thing as getting hit by a mini nuke in Final Fantasy, or I was saying in Fallout 76, right? If you were to go to nuclear winter mode with a fat man, you could like, I mean, it depends, but you could essentially like do 9/10 of their bar, you know. But I mean, like, while you're casting that, I mean, no, I mean, really, that's, I mean, I doubt fat mans were really allowed in nuclear winter, I would imagine, but they should have been. And like, that's the kind of damage. It's like while you're firing it, you've got this big fucking rocket launcher with a mini nuke inside, and it's not like you can really move around fast or do anything. You've got this huge piece of fucking metal on your fucking shoulder, and you're not gonna play dancey shucky jivey with some goblin or ghoul or zombie or whatever while you have this like rocket launcher strapped to your shoulder. That's not how that works, right? So the idea of Fallout 76 having a mini nuke in nuclear winter was an interesting one, and I'm not sure it was possible, but I'm sure they had to address it. And like, you know, and I think of that as ancient magic in Final Fantasy 11. It's gonna do 9/10 of your bar, if not outright full-blown one-shot kill you. I have been full-blown, full health bar, one-shot kill by AMs plenty of times. They've got enough damage to do more than 130% of your bar sometimes. If it's like a black mage mob that's 5 levels higher than you, that's casting a flare because you aggroed like a pack of 3 of them or something like that in a coffer mob situation, except you're level 60 instead of 65. If a 65 mob is casting ancient magic on a level 60, you're gonna die in one hit. I mean, it's like one hit. It's like, if it's not 90% of your bar, it's like 130, and you straight full blown bite it. And so there's the interesting thing about ancient magic is it's okay in most MMORPGs, you have some way to mitigate a spell. You know, in Final Fantasy 11 it's shadows. In WoW it would be like not power infusion, but what is it called, pain suppression, or pally bubble, or I can't turn around, or frost block, or evasion / cloak of shadows / vanish, or there's like a lot of ways to deal with catastrophic incoming crazy fucking alpha strike damage coming. There's a lot of ways to deal with it in Final Fantasy 11. There's a lot of ways to deal with it in WoW, but most times you can't deal with it when it's going off. Usually the black mage is free to do so they do so, right? And like even the AI will do it. The AI will do it. The AI sees a free kill in one hit, so it takes it. Like the Final Fantasy 11 AI has never been like this piece of shit AI that like say I would say WoW mobs are essentially just basically zombies that stumble at you. And they might have AoEs and charge attacks and cool stuff like Dark Souls, but generally they're not always very interesting. They just sort of trail at you and melee you most of the time. And I would say, like 11 is not like that. If you aggro a black mage that's 5 levels higher than you, the black mage isn't stupid. He knows that he's got to get you off the fucking board before you silence him, melee him with his wet toilet paper fucking armor, interrupt all his spells and captivate him there with stun or some kind of entangle, just like WoW or EverQuest or RuneScape or any other fucking game that's good, any RPG that's really good is crowd control. And so like even on EvE we have this. We have tackle and we have like warp disruptions, so they can't warp out if they And so and all this other stuff having to do with like crowd control. And so, that's the reality in the old style RPGs that makes the game more like a fucking I would say like a gambling VLT, like a video lottery terminal. I would say Final Fantasy 11 is a lot more like a VLT than it is and I'll show you how a Final Fantasy 11 player thinks like this. It's why I prepare for every battle. It's why I sit down and I get help back in between each and every fight, just like EverQuest. Because it's like, like if I'm not ready, this bad eye will cast Thundaga 2 4 times for 1200 damage on here. He's gonna do it right now. He's casting Sleep God here, right? Now I resisted that one because he's only level I'm level 55, he's level 42, so the likelihood of him actually landing that fucking spell on me is like 50-50, I'd say. It's still 50-50. He can still Sleep God me for a successful 55 seconds, which is like a 55-second stun. You can't move your character, you can't do anything, you can't log off, you can't do shit for 55 fucking seconds. Like, WoW, they complain about 5 seconds because it's PvP based. In the PvE game like Final Fantasy 11, the stuns last sometimes 10 seconds. Sleep will last 45. Sleep 2, a 15-minute cooldown, elemental seal, magic resistance. So he casts bind on me. Look, I can't move for 35 seconds. I can't move. Do you see it? And like this kind of shit you don't see in newer games. You don't see that kind of level of ferocity and just like details of difficulty. And like if you look at it, like for instance, this Tundra Tiger, it looks like a pussy that's just auto swinging at this Saber Siravardi, my Beastmaster pet. But if I, no, I'm gonna just check my clients here. I'm terribly sorry. I'm just making sure I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing here. There we go. Yep, and I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm gonna just pop on the sound for just a second, see what's going on. Yep, seems good. Yep, we're just going to turn it off again. What was I going to say? Yeah, if we go and look at a better target would be these Ahriman eyes or whatever they're called, these bat eyes, right? We're going to go look at this mob that I'm fighting, the bat eye, FFXI bat eye. They're nasty, one-eyed, I gotta say, I've been saying it a lot over the last couple of weeks, but these guys, they're Mike Wachowski. It's Mike Wachowski Black Mage. It's a Mike Wachowski imp Black Mage. It's an imp crossed with Mike Wachowski. It's a Black Mage mixed with like a Cyclops, right? So, and the 11 creator meant this, and it's not a joke that it looks like that, and it does the same things that a Black Mage Medusa imp would do. Like, I don't know it won't play out what its abilities are if you can't charm it. I don't know what its abilities are. So, and we don't know, but we know that it's got level 5 Petrify, and we don't even know what level 5 Petrify is, because no player can cast it So we don't even technically know, as Final Fantasy XI players, what level 5 Petrify technically is. We know that there's no level 1, no level 2, level 3, or level 4. There's only level 5 Petrify, and it's only ever been there since, like, Final Fantasy 1. Like, since the days of Dungeons and Dragons, like, 3.5. We've only ever had, like, like, people don't understand that, like, Final Fantasy is not this popcorn candy Final Fantasy 14 catgirl pretty graphics game. It's really not like that. It's never been like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12, and 13 were not like that. They were not like that. They were not like 14. 14 was the popular one, besides 7 and 6. And 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and like there was a lot of popular Final Fantasies, but where I'm going with this is most Final Fantasy players think that 14 is this perfect example of what Final Fantasy is. But absolutely the fuck not. The perfect example of what Final Fantasy is 11. It is auto melee swings from all of your characters in a party of 4 to 6 people. Sometimes 6, 8, 12, any number between 6 and 18, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people, something like that, depending on what Final Fantasy game you're playing, whether it's 10. This is why Final Fantasy 11 is the best game ever made. And a WoW player will look at me and they'll be like, what the fuck did you just say about my favorite game of all time? That 11 is better than WoW? You're tripping. Nah, 11 is WoW. I'm sorry, 11 is WoW, but 11 came the same time as WoW, but 11 is better than WoW. In the respect that, not because the game looks better or plays better, it's that the depth is on par with Dungeons and Dragons. WoW has that depth, but it is not pursued anymore, not even in Classic. Now it is pursued on Final Fantasy XI, which makes Final Fantasy XI the greatest Final Fantasy game ever made. Now, it's weird because you'd be surprised how many Final Fantasy players between Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 13 and 15 and everything in between, 13X and 15X and 10X and all these other titles like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest and all this. I've been a Final Fantasy addict my entire adult life, and I'm 41 years old. That's, whatever, how many years, 29 years or something like that. I know every mob, every ability, every spell, what it's likely to do, how likely it is to land, what level to be where, what level to be in where and what game. It doesn't matter across all 25 titles or whatever it is, 36 fucking Final Fantasy titles. I know where to be, what level, what mob, whatever. It's like a religion. The only other time you'll ever see this is in 3 other titles, I would say. Maybe 4. You'll see it in you'll see it in about 10. There's like 10 titles like this, but there's only a few that play like this anymore, that are still popular enough to still be playable in a 6-man party or a 4-man party or a 5-man party or whatever. And they're all dying in their own verifiable forms, and so is my way of life and the MMO lifestyle. So I came to here thinking that I would do something about the MMO lifestyle, and I would try to show them what the MMO lifestyle was for what I did in my spare time my entire fucking life when I wasn't working or banging girls or being a lead singer or whatever. I was spending all of my off time in the MMO lifestyle. And to me, it's a passion. The way that there's that baseball is a passion for people, or soccer, but we call it soccer, but it's football. Or the MMO lifestyle, and I'm passionate about Final Fantasy 11 in particular, but I like 12, I like 13, I like 7. I like 7 remastered if you open up the world, and I like 4. I like 14 to a much lesser degree. I think 14 was sacrilege. When you look at Final Fantasy 1 through 13, you look at 14, which is the most successful one, and you're like, oh no, this is a complete and utter divorce of everything that is Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 15 had more in common with Final Fantasy than Final Fantasy 14 did. That's why when you open up Final Fantasy 15, it says a Final Fantasy for old timers and new players alike, right? And they're like, we're trying to teach you the core Final Fantasy stuff, which is Cactuars cast 1,000 needles. Do not fight them if you are alone. Because if you don't fight them, if you do fight them when you're alone, you are going to take what is almost certainly catastrophic damage over 5,000 or 6,000 needles. It doesn't matter what game you're playing. It could be Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 5, Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... Well, really, every game but 14. 14 does not stick to this. Not really. All the Final Fantasy stuff that is there in 14, but it doesn't matter two shits if a goblin tosses a bomb at you in 14. It doesn't matter. That might kill you, but it's not going to kill you the way it did the last like 25 games. Because 14 is a living fucking joke in every way or form. The wowitization of Final Fantasy was a complete fucking joke, and so is WoW. WoW, when you compare it to Dungeons and Dragons, is a complete fucking joke. It's a complete perversion of what true RPGs are, and 14 is no different. Guild Wars 2 is no different. Like, EVE Online is not guilty of this, but Final Fantasy 11 is not guilty of this. But WoW theme parks, you've heard the word before, it's theme parks. Theme parks are guilty of this. And so I go digging through my fucking grave, playing 3 old titles from at least the most modern title. This right here is my ideal game title setup, which is Final Fantasy 11, my favorite game of all time. EVE Online, my second favorite game of all time, and Rust, my third favorite game of all time, and then sitting in fourth would be, of course, World of Warcraft's Season of Discovery, and before that it was WoW, and then in the fifth one, it's Souls-likes, right? We used to say New World, but I can't do From Software dirty like that. It's an amalgamation of everything Souls-like, including like Final Fantasy is 11. Final Fantasy 11 is an amalgamation of everything that is Final Fantasy, and it stays true to all of the Final Fantasy stuff. You should know what Cure 1, Cure 2, Cure 3, Cure 4, and Cure 5 is. You should know what Regen and Barvira is. You should know what Aquavale and Haste and Hestega and Slowga and Slow and Stopga, Slowga, Dispelga, Dispel. You should know what Stone Skin and Blink is. You should have known what that stuff is from Final Fantasy 1. You should know what that stuff is from Final Fantasy 6. You should know what it is from 7. Materia kind of was its own separate world, but it was pretty true to the Final Fantasy form, and I believe Materia is at the core of Final Fantasy and always have. And I'll talk about the Crystal, and I'll talk about Final Fantasy like it's my fucking religion, because it kind of is. You know what I'm saying? I believe in chocobos over horses, and I believe in cat girls over dudes, and I believe in cactars casting 1,000 needles. I don't give two shits how much you play the game. I don't care if you have 5,000 hours in Rust or whatever the fuck. I don't care about that. 1,000 needles should still kill you. And I don't care about your bravado fucking attitude about triple beams or whatever the fuck or you know, whatever headshots or 360 headshots or DayZ or fucking Apex or Fortnite or CS:GO 2 or any of that other stuff. I don't care about how good you are in that game. 1,000 needles should still kill you. It's the same thing as the last boss in Elden Ring should still be hard. It's the same thing. The last boss in Dark Souls 1 was hard. The last boss in Bloodborne was hard. The absolute virtue in Final Fantasy 11 is the hardest boss ever conceived of, I think. I can't think of one that's worse. This is a man who knows his games. I can't think of another boss that's worse in fucking history. Absolute Virtue was like literally it took the people, I think it was like 5 solid real life days to kill the boss the first time, of solid best in the world DPS all day long and clocked shifts You know, for 5 solid real-life days. That's how they got Ab Virtue down the first time. I did it way later after the nerf. You know what I'm saying? Way, way later on Fenrir after the nerf. And, like, trust me, dude, that like WoW players think that they're good. They aren't good. They're not good like the Japanese on Final Fantasy XI. They're not good. The Aussies and the Koreans could wish to be good like the Japanese. You think I'm racist towards these people or something? No, no, no. I'm just saying the Japanese made the games that we're playing. You know. And we used to get like the saddest thing that I've heard. Well, there's 2 things in the last 10 years that make me cry like a little fucking girl, and I'm gonna do it on fucking stream right now. The first thing was understanding that the world has called Afghanistan the graveyard of nations for the last like 1,000 years. They've called Afghanistan the graveyard of nations because every 100 years some asshole like America or Russia or some idiot goes in there and tries to sack fucking, you know, Afghanistan, and they all die trying, just like they die trying to take Moscow, because you can't take extreme desert and you can't take extreme fucking winter unless you live there. That's why you can't sock Moscow and you can't sock fucking Afghanistan, because you can't deal with hot tanks or hot battle in the desert without losing to the desert nomads, and you can't do, you know, or the desert fox or whatever, and you can't do you can't do winter battles in Moscow without losing to Russia, because they live there. You don't. That's why you know, that's why Hitler doesn't own America, is because you can't go to Moscow. He should have known. Anybody with a clue, a 5-year-old's understanding of military fucking history would have known not to go to Moscow. But Hitler was a goddamn fucking worthless moron. Straight up moron. Like, not only was he a dangerous moron, but he was a moron. He was like a low IQ moron. Like a 5-year-old never would have gone to Moscow. Anybody with some sense would have been like, Daddy, if I take metal to winter, will it freeze? Yeah, everything metal freezes in winter. Yeah, including tanks and bombs and guns and artillery. So anybody with a fucking clue never would have stepped to Moscow. And it's not like I'm sad that he lost. I'm just saying, don't sack Moscow and don't sack Afghanistan. You want to know how George Bush is the most clueless piece of shit, fucking worthless leader in the history of mankind? He sent us to Afghanistan, the graveyard of fucking nations, the place that we've known for 1,000 fucking years that nobody can take. Nobody can take Afghanistan. Nobody can. They call it the graveyard of nations. You know what I'm saying? The understanding that fact made me cry like a little fucking girl when you understand how fucking stupid, 5-year-old fucking stupid. I'm not talking like 5-year-old, like a 5-year-old smarter than George Bush. I'm talking like fucking, like really stupid, like not understanding fundamental things like metal and coal goes badly. Yeah, metal and coal goes badly. Metal and heat goes badly. Yeah, metal and guns and men in extreme heat and extreme cold goes badly. No one's ever managed it. Not in the 10,000 years that we've been trying or whatever the fuck. Get a fucking clue. Learn some fucking history before you lead my people into the graveyard of fucking nations willingly. You fucking Republican, traitor, worthless, idiot bastard. And I say that 20 years after your fucking death reign of 9/11s and graveyards of nations. And that's the saddest thing that I can think of that I encountered in the entire 50 or 40 years that I've been alive. You know what I'm saying? That's the saddest thing. The other sad thing, right? The other sad thing that makes me really sad, I lost the whole thing. But the other sad thing is, all these kids that think they know about video games, that think they're better than you, don't understand the simple Jedi concept of there's always a bigger fish. When I was 11 years old, 30 years ago, there was some dude who was 41 years old like me, who was kicking ass on Ultima Online long before I was or whatever, some mud, long before I was a fucking glimmer in my father's eye. So I don't go around talking shit about people who are older than me. I'm not fucking stupid like these piece of shit kids who have to talk shit to each other all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? There's always a bigger fish. There's always some dude who's been doing it for 50 years. We've been around on this planet for 2 million years or whatever Cretaceous period or Cro-Magnon man or whatever the fuck. We've been around here for 2 fucking million years. And if you don't think that some dude hasn't pioneered whatever the fuck you think you're doing 50 fucking years years ago, you are an idiot. Trust me, some dude in MIT was streaming MMOs 3 at a time to his classmates. Trust me, long ago, long before I was born. 10, 20 years before I was born. Some dude in MIT was streaming like chess games to his friends. You know what I'm saying? Like the same shit that I'm doing 50 fucking years ago. And I think I'm at the forefront of streaming 2 or 3 games at the same time, or Ninja thinks that he's at the forefront of shooter games or whatever. Nah, there was some dude 50 years long before Ninja was even born who was a lot better at it than him. Trust me. And so you see these gamers who come up on Final Fantasy XIV who don't know what level 5 Petrify is, who don't know what Thousand Needles is. They don't know, they don't care, because the wowitization of RPGs has broken the spine of the greatest genre in mankind's history, short of chess. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 great things, as mankind, I'd say. 2 or 3 great things. First one would be alcohol. Second one would be chess. The third one would be love. You know what I'm saying? There's about 3 good things that we do. All the rest of it is like shades of gray of those other things. Of the 3 things that I mentioned. They're all shades of gray. Everything that we do is like 3 shades of grades of basically games, sex, politics, and like love and sex, politics, and like progress or whatever, right? So tech, gaming, and love. That's so. And I'm getting off on a tangent here I didn't really want to get off onto, but I'm just saying, so I get angry, I look at what they suss out as successful, or what they think is successful, or who they think is the best. And trust me, if it's some 20-year-old fucking kid, sure, it might be Billie fucking Eilish or Lana Del Rey, it might be, Sometimes it is, sometimes they're the Beastie Boys or whatever, it happens, Sometimes they're Heart, or, like Jim Morrison, it happens, right? But it's very fucking rare. And long before Jim Morrison, there was some Woody Guthrie type drinking songs and shooting heroin or eating heroin pills and fucking greenies on the fucking, on the stab a hobo life, with stab a hobo with my hobo knife life, like out there singing blues or whatever. And trust me, long before Jim Morrison and the fucking Flower Power Peace Revolution or whatever the fuck, there sorry, I thought that was my phone. There was some like, there was some dude drugged out in the 1905s or whatever, living like Henry Miller in Paris, who was Jim Morrison long before fucking Jim Morrison. And they want to give him credit for being the first one, the first original drug poet all-star or whatever. What's that Marilyn Manson song? Hey, Mr. Angel with the hard drug face, wanna power his nose. It's like a dope star. Like, you think Jim Morrison's the first dope star? No, that's been happening since the dawn of man. You know what I'm saying? Would they all want to fucking like worship Janis Joplin or somebody? I get it. Your Jim Morrisons, your Hendrixes or whatever. I get it. I get it. All my heroes are dead too of heroin. But I mean, I don't think they were the first ones. I never have. It's so so after understanding the Afghanistan reality and understanding that's like the saddest thing I can think of as an American, and understanding the second saddest thing is understanding the gamers think they know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Gamers think they know what they're talking about. And no. 50 years before the ColecoVision, there was somebody in some fucking corner with some tech that they made themselves trying to make a RuneScape. Trust me, long ago, and you just never heard about it because maybe that person doesn't want to tell you about it. Maybe they don't trust you. Maybe you called them a bitch or something like that, but because they won't let you get the pussy, whatever. So, and I don't know where this all adds up. I just know that, like, if you think that you're the best at something and you're shitting on other people verbally or otherwise because you think you're the best at something, I have some issue with that statement. I have some issue with that point of view, and I have some issue with that reality or that belief. There's always a bigger fish. Always. There's always somebody who doesn't want the Guinness Book of World Records to know they're the best in the world, or though they won't be the best in the world anymore. Now, will they? There will be 100 other people trying to vie for that title, won't there? Right? So a lot of the best people in the world at their particular fucking genre or whatever it is that they do, they don't talk about it. They don't go to Guinness Book of World Records and brag. One of the things that I'm fucking certain of, like really fucking certain of, like I'm certain of like suicide and like, you know, or not like certain suicide certain, but I mean like that it happens, or that the sun's gonna rise tomorrow, or that, you know, that the rain falls or the sun shines or whatever, right? I'm certain of this, is that like there is a reality of people that that are contenders and are better than you, that don't ever talk about it, that don't ever brag about it, that don't ever talk to the Guinness Book of World Records, that don't fucking, I know because I've been around a lot of people like that in my life that I've known that were the best at what they did. And guess what? When you're the best at what you do, you don't fucking talk about it. So one of the things I don't do is going around saying that I'm better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? I bet, like, right after I capped you in the head and I'm dancing away in glee, I might be like, I killed Sirius Black, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you. You might see me in a moment like that, right? I killed Sirius Black, you know, just bragging like Helena Bonham Carter about my black magic or whatever. I just one-shot you or whatever, right? But no... Like, no, in the end, there's always some Voldemort that doesn't want you to know he's in the background. There's always some fucking, you know, there's always some bigger fish that's going to swallow the fish that's trying to chase and swallow you. There's just like that Jedi scene in Phantom Menace, right? That was something that Spielberg did that was right. He taught a lesson with that one. And I, as a child, I was very influenced by it. There's you know, Qui-Gon Jinn standing there like, you know, motherfucking Liam Neeson standing there like the boomer god that he is, being like, yep, there's always a bigger fish. You might think that some asshole's gonna kill you on the fucking streets. Nah, the system will eat him alive. That's what happened for me. I thought I was gonna get eaten alive by a homicidal fucking killer. You know what I'm saying? Kill me, kill my girlfriend, kill everybody. And like fucking, nah, the system got him. You know what I'm saying? System got him. Like, I didn't have to worry. There's always a bigger fish. You know, the trash will take themselves out. The bigger fish will sometimes swim away even. They'll just sometimes swim away from you. They'll be like, ooh, that's a better prey. And they'll just swim away from you sometimes. It's crazy. It's like, you know. And so when you don't like biting people, when you don't like being the bigger fish, when you always pick the fucking underdog, when you're always the underdog in the situation, you're always being shit on 2v1 or whatever the fuck, and you always stand like a fucking man right in their fucking face, and you go eye to fucking eye, go nose to fucking nose with them, and you're like, what motherfucker, what? You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference, you know what I'm saying? Like they're used to everybody in their life just backing down in front of them all the fucking time. And so, like, you know, and I'm on a rant now. I'm going to, like, stop, you know. I'm going to stop. I've been just kind of talking about a lot of things that have been on my mind lately, you know. And so we're going to listen to something so I can get off the whole topic, you know. I'm just going to see how I'm doing here. I've got to go dock up. I get very animated when I talk about this stuff because it's like, active. I look at Final Fantasy players in 14 and stuff like that who think that they're the world's best, when they don't even know what 11 is. And I'm the bigger fish when I look at it like that. When I look at it like that, when I'm like, oh man, have you beaten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7 remaster, 8 remaster, 9 remaster, 10 remaster, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I haven't played 16 yet because they won't bring it to PC, but oh boy, I will. And they're about to do Horizon Forbidden Dawn because they haven't brought that to PC either, but the exclusives are about to die. And I'm about to get my last Final Fantasy game. Do you know how fucked up that is? Like, that I had to follow 4 different consoles my entire life to be able to play every Final Fantasy. That was fucked up, and they don't like that. The developers don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Sleep Gob for 55 seconds. I'm going to alt-tab because I literally cannot move my character for 55 seconds. And you get an example of, like, really how different of a game. You know? It's not, like, you know... People wonder why I'm playing this 20-year-old game. Well, because I just caught a 55-second stun. That's why. That's why. Most games don't have the balls to do that kind of thing to you, you know? Nope, nope, no reprocess. I'm gonna press. There it is again, but I'm about to probably break out of this in 20 seconds. See, I can't move, can't do anything. My pet's just fighting him. My pet's gonna kill him before I wake up. You get an example of what real RPGs are like. You don't go around Black Mages not expecting to not get Sleep God, you know? In Ballista, the Final Fantasy XI PvP, I used to walk up Soul Voice, which is the Bard 2-hour, right? And I used to go Horde Lullaby, which would hit all 18 people for 60 seconds. I would block out an entire 18-man fucking team, and I'd be like, don't touch them, don't touch them. I'd be in all caps. I'd be like, don't touch them, don't touch them, don't touch them. And then I would go Bard White Mage, and I would go Blink. What's it called? Stone Skin, and then Soul Voice, which is the Bard 2-hour, which gives you a lot more accuracy on your songs, and then I would 2-hour Soul Voice Horde Lullaby these guys, all 18 of them, standing in a big clump, and I would Horde Lullaby them for, you get an example of the power I would have over 18 people, a single player, you know what I'm saying, and WoW doesn't have the balls to be like this. They just don't. I mean, they do, but they don't. So then I shut them out for a solid like 55 seconds, just like I just did, right? And while we just kill one by one, we just kill one by one. We just go, okay, kill this one, kill this one, kill this one, kill this one, kill this one. And then we oust their entire team, no losses. We take the pennant, we go score, and they're shut out of that match. And that's just me. That was just what one bard could do, Now, if my Black Mage wasn't listening, then he's gonna fucking Faraga 3 them for 3/4 of their bar and break the sleep. But I mean, that was capable. I was capable of doing so. I was capable of CCing 18 fucking people for 60 seconds solid. That's the kind of power that the old school RPG used to be able to deliver. Now it's like, well, Marvel. Now it's like Marvel, where they're all in a big fucking clump, all running AoEs on each other like a big fucking blob. None of it matters. None of it has any kind of strategy. None of it matters in terms of who's the best damage or any of it. None of that matters. I wouldn't say Fortnite matters. I wouldn't say a lot of it matters, because when you get down to it, Ninja doesn't really have a lot more power than the person that he's currently fighting, which to me is boring. And, it's funny because Ninja does play Final Fantasy XI on this server. You know what I'm saying? I love pulling this out. And it's not because I'm trying to, like, suck on Ninja's dick or something like that. It's not like that. I'm talking about Final Fantasy XI here. If a player like that's willing to play 11, you begin to understand, like, these old games, some of them do have value, and they have a lot more value than the current games, Like, I would say 11 is 10 times the game that old school RuneScape is. And I know that's heresy to most gamers, but I fundamentally believe it. You want to know why? RuneScape does not look as good as this. This mob actually looks like Mike Wachowski. You know what I'm saying? Mobs in RuneScape look like a bunch of shitty Super Mario Brothers pixels. Mob in this game actually looks like Mike fucking Wachowski. If I was a nightmare type person, I've never had a nightmare in my entire life. I've never had a dream in my entire life. But if I dreamed about things, it would be about Mike Wachowski casting Faraga 5 on me when I'm stunned or slept, And that RPG, it's kind of like how gangster dudes probably get scared of getting capped outside of a restaurant or something like that. They probably have nightmares about it, wake up in cold sweat. They're like standing on the corner clocking or something like that. And some gangbanger walks up, he's like 12 years old, and just caps his ass in the face, you know what I'm saying? While he's standing on the fucking corner while kids and their grandmothers are around and shit like that. That's what thugs like me, wake up in cold sweats over and shit, but I don't have nightmares or dreams, I actually am Asperger's, crazy, probably fundamentally, like, probably could write papers about me and shit. I actually am like this. I actually am autistic, you know? And so I have never had a dream or a nightmare. But if it was, my nightmare would be of Mike Wachowski casting Faraga 5 on me when I have 5 health left and I'm slept or stunned. And I know that the death is coming and I can't do anything about it. It's like an amalgamation of, like, of humanity's fear of death, you know? Is my fear of a black mage casting Faraga 5 on you when you're stunned or slept and you've got 5 health left. Because there's nothing you can do about that. Ninja can be surrounded by 99 of the best players in the world and still take the World Cup. He can still somehow do that. That's one of the reasons why Fortnite's so great. But, right, I don't respect it. And he would understand it because he plays Final Fantasy XI like me. He would understand it. But I don't respect it because in the end, he's not fighting odds like I am. In the end, the bad eye can still sleep god me and still gaw me for my entire fucking bar on an RNG roll. This is why gambling in modern gaming is so popular, right? On an RNG roll, I can't stop it. There's nothing I can do about this mob. I mean, this mob doesn't cast ancient magic because he's not a black mage. He's like a fucking he's like a red mage, right? Or no, he is a black mage, but he doesn't cast any ancient magic. Some of them don't. And like, but if he did, what he does cast is nasty gauze spells. Faraga 2, which is always 230 damage on a 750 health bar or whatever, 1,000 health bar. It's always at least a quarter of your bar. So like. That I do respect. If like now, Ninja can't ever get his ass out of a sleep gaw into a fucking AM magic. You know, he can't get his ass out of that any more than I can get my ass out of that. Now he might have more gear than me because he has more clout or money or friends or whatever. He might have more gear, so he might be a little bit more resistant to that sleep gaw than me because he has more money or whatever, right? Or he can buy Gil and he can go get the resistance that I don't want to spend 5,000 hours going and getting. So, like, he doesn't want to spend 5,000 hours to go and get, which is why him and all those streamers, they buy gold, they buy boosts, they buy everything, they buy accounts, they buy it all because they just don't have the time. They don't have the time. Not if they're entertaining 24/7 like me. They just don't have the time. They don't have the time to do it. Most streamers do not have the time to sit here and grind their Beastmaster to 75. I do because I didn't sign up for the motherfucking clout. I signed up to show the world that Final Fantasy still exists and that, level 5 Petrify still exists and Faraga 5 still exists and Faraga 4 exists and it hasn't been watered down by the ESO, Final Fantasy 14, WoW, retail WoW, RPG-itis, you know? I play games where, look, he just hit me for half my bar. Do you see it? There's a level 5 Petrify. I've got a 25 fucking second stun on me. I've got a 45% damage hit coming through. My Tiger is badass and he's balanced right, so he won the fight. But he's at 1% health. And like, sure, WoW mobs treat you the same exact way, but they don't stun you like this. See, I'm still stunned. You know what I'm saying? I'm stunned, and I started this rant like 45 seconds ago about what bad eyes can do. Or really more like 45 minutes ago, but I talked about level 5 Petrify. He hit me with one, and it was 35 seconds long. What game has the balls to stun your character for 35 seconds? There's only a few. Dungeons and Dragons, Final Fantasy XI, EVE Online, and the games that I play. EverQuest, old school RuneScape, but to a way lesser extent. And like classic WoW can play like that if you wanted to, but people don't play it like that anymore. You know, they don't. And that's all I have to say about this. That was the end of the rant. I got everything that I wanted to talk about out at the beginning, and I went for exactly 53 minutes on an MMO. I did 53 minutes on a recorded video rant here at the start of a 12-hour session where I talked about MMOs and why I'm so passionate about this. I consider my passion about this. I consider my passion about this to the same sort of depth that Sandy Koufax got. You know, the world loved Sandy Koufax for understanding how really wonderful and beautiful baseball actually was. You know what I'm saying? or whoever really made it famous in the first place. The, you know, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, like, you know, the greats. They call them the greats, right? Like, I want to be a great, not because of the money or the clout or the 16 females in my bedroom or any of that other stupid ass shit that all the bougie fucking rappers talk about, 2 Chainz or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here to fucking brag about this shit. I'm actually trying to live a 50-year history, a 50-year fucking memory of what it's like to actually play these games before they're dead and gone. It's a higher calling. You know what I'm saying? Almost an academic fucking calling. I don't know what else to do it. I'm going to chart it, and I'm hoping that when I'm 95, there will be some fucking kid who was like, oh my god, your FFXI, your 5 years in FFXI Horizon on the stream, every minute of it was such an inspiration to me, sir, that I donated $1 million to your favorite charity, right? I want to hear some kid step to me being like, your 5 years on Final Fantasy Horizon was formatively, like, it was so formative for me that I was able to base a career around it. And I know that you don't need my money, and you never did need my money, even when you were recording the Final Fantasy 11 video, right? You never needed my money. So here's $1 million to your favorite charity, right? That's what I want to hear out of the kids. I don't want to hear about triple beams or the N-word with the hard R or with the soft A or whatever. Like, I don't want to hear this shit from the fucking braggadocio kids. I want to see them building something. I think my friend Tay qualifies because he's a builder. You know what I'm saying? Tears come to my eye. Do you see the tear roll? Like he's qualified to be a builder. My friend Boom and Tay, they're like that. Like I would say my friend Dog Giraffe is like that. Like they're qualified to actually win the race of being the best at something, maybe. But like I'm not. I've never been like that. I'm just here trying to live the MMO lifestyle. That's it. And I wasn't the only one. There was about like 1 million of us. There was like 1 million out of the 7 billion or something like that. There was actually like a million of us, you know? Gotta get on the bad eye and get the fucking tiger off him. Or get the tiger to get him off me. God damn it. If I stand in the Ice Gong, or the Blizzaga 2, I'm gonna die, so I have to get out of the Blizzaga 2. Do you see it? He will take me from 35 cents percent to 0. He definitely has the capability to do that, so I take him seriously, right? One of the problems with modern gaming, especially in PvP, is I just don't give 2 shits about my opponent. I don't respect them. I don't care about how many triple beam fucking headshots they can do. I don't care if they're a ninja and they've won the World Cup. I don't care about that, because they're not facing odds that they can't win, that they can't beat. Those are all odds that they can with some good gameplay. And so I'm gonna die. See, I died. See it? Maybe I win, but I doubt it. He's gonna Gospel me. There it is, and I'm dead. See it? I couldn't get out of it. I don't know why the tiger suddenly died, but the tiger suddenly died and I'm dead. See it? And so, like, I don't know why. I healed him and everything. There was nothing I could do in my power. It's not like, oh, Skycat, use another cooldown or something like that. No, all of my cooldowns are on cooldown. Familiar isn't, so I guess there's your error. I didn't familiar that tiger, but I don't like familiaring the tigers. They're cheap. You know, they're throwaway. I don't really want to burn a 2-hour on them, but okay. So we'll 2-hour the tiger next time and pray that doesn't happen. But in the end, 5 Blizzagas came through for 200 damage in 90 seconds. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't sleep the mob. I can't CC him. There's nothing I can silence him if I try for 2 minutes to stick a silence on him with a white mage sub job. But there's nothing I can do to stop those Blizzagas. I think that my chances of being more successful in the end are higher because Ninja's struggle ends. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna either declare him the winner, or they're gonna declare him the contender, or they're gonna say like, here, oh, you made $50 million, you won, or whatever, you've made it, or whatever. And that's when he's gonna be the most unhappy, when he realizes that there's no other way to prove that he's the best. When and Marilyn Manson had it right at the end of Antichrist Superstar. He said, Brian Warner, he said, when many of your wishes are granted, when all of your wishes are granted, many of your dreams will be destroyed. And so I don't yearn to be the best like these idiots. I don't want to be the best like them. I don't. Because when you're the best, there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. You want to get super depressed, like suicidally depressed? Be the best at something. Because then you got no one to contend with. You got no one to beat. You got no one to race. You're time trialing with yourself. You know, it's no good. It's not fun. So and I've been there before. So like, understand. Like, I was there on Priest one time. I had nobody to watch. Like at one period for a brief period of about 10 weeks in 2010 in the fourth quarter. I'll never forget it. It was like college finals or something like that. NCAA finals for me. Or, like, we were going for best in the world, best WoW Priest in the world. I was going for it, and I was trying to be there, right? And we lost out second place to a Chinese guild who exploited. And like, you know, I still think of the process to reaching that place taught me something, and I have no regrets. But I was the top NA priest in the world, and when and to get to that place, I had stolen all of the information of all the other priests. I watched every video out there. I mean, I have a friend who did this on Rust. He just became the best player on Rust or something. I don't know. I've never seen anybody beat him. Like, you know, he's either cheating or he's just the best. It's one or the other. So, like, you know, so when I was the best disc priest in the world, I was depressed as fucking hell. I had my second mental breakdown. First one was over drugs. The second one was over like not getting best in the world. Right? I had a mental breakdown. I quit my raid. You've seen it before. You see me quit. Like, I've got a weird mental illness around quitting my raid, because when I had a mental breakdown, I closed all my friendships on Facebook. I closed all my friendships on YouTube. I closed all my friendships on like WoW. I closed all my friendships. I quit my guild. I promoted somebody else. They took my role over, and I left the guild permanently. And I left raiding, and I went to the arena for a couple of years, and then left permanently out of that scene permanently. And I burnt out, and I burned. And you want to know what happened? When I reached the top, I knew that in order to be the best guild in the world, I had to be the best priest in the world. No shot, no shit, no shot. We didn't make it, so I wasn't the best priest in the world. But I mean, there was some Chinese priest that was better than me. I don't even know the name. But I mean, I know that, you know, there was some Chinese priest that beat me in the end, right? And so now I look at this and I'm like, well, in that time, in that 10 weeks when I had a mental breakdown at the end of it, I lost my raid, and I lost everything I worked for, and I lost a career, and I lost everything. Lost my girlfriend, lost everything. And I had a mental breakdown, and I left WoW, and I just stopped raiding, and I just stopped doing that way of life anymore. I don't value it. I don't want it. I don't like the WoW endgame, right? Is when I got there, when I topped the Worlds of Logs in 2010 on Catalysta, I realized that there was no priest that I could copy a spec from, and there was no fucking raid that I could copy. There was no videos that I could watch except for my own guild's fucking videos, right? And you'd be surprised how easy it is to reach that place where you're like, well, that effectively makes us the best in the world, doesn't it? And you get this moment in your fucking Discord where they're like, yeah, we're the best in the world. We're the best in the world, guys. And then everyone starts screaming, you know, we're the best in the world. We had that moment. We were the best in NA. We were the best in the world. You know, we had that moment in the fucking raid. We were top 10. We were the top 10 man in the world. And we were like, we were the best in the world, guys. This is the moment, right? And I took a snapshot of that fucking shit, and I've lost it since through reformats because Microsoft Windows is incompetent. I can't keep a Microsoft Windows install, so I can't keep anything digital. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but I never had any money for a hard drive. I played WoW raids my whole life and all this. So, you know, so when you're there at the top, you're like, many of your wishes are granted. You're like, wow, all that work, I finally reached it. I got there. And you immediately realize that you no longer have any peers. You no longer have anybody to copy off of. You no longer have anybody to ask advice from. And if you did, it would be admitting that you weren't the best. And all these other fucking problems. And this is that weird sickness. That's why I've always acted like I'm better than everybody else, because I did go somewhere that nobody else can go to. But I've never believed that I was better than anybody else, because anybody could easily take that title. Anybody could easily step to that and take that title. Anybody could. It wasn't some fucking, what's a definitive thing? I'm Usain Bolt, I'm the fastest man in the world, or whatever, right? WoW rating was never that definitive. It's not like that. So, you know, when it came down to it, I quit. The second that I reached best in the world, I had a mental breakdown and I quit. This is common with this is common with AAA personalities. They call it the yiffs. When in sports, when you're Tiger Woods and you suddenly start shanking it out there on the ninth hole in sandbagging, they call it the yiffs. They're like, well, this is the greatest golfer in history, but they can't sink a hole that I as a commenter, that I as a sports commentator couldn't make. I could have reached a higher par than he did on this one. And we've seen it with sports stars before. You see it with high-end AAA athletes and stuff, and you see it with like high-end people like Taylor Swift and all this. Like if you reach the top of your ladder, I would say I did it in the Denver drug scene for a little while. I reached the top of the ladder, which was like I didn't have to live in the scene, right? I didn't have to deal with tweakers living in my house. That was somebody else's problem, not mine, right? I could go live in a hotel room or live in a girl's house or live in a girl's apartment or whatever and sell my drugs all day, and I didn't have to live with the tweakers that I sold the drugs to, right? But a lot of people in the scene who are drug dealers do have to deal with that. They do have to deal with the scene. I did not, because I had a digital business entirely. It was just meet, greet, sell, buy, see ya tomorrow. That was it. It was never like, oh, I got to get you high, or oh, you got to get in my car, or oh, you got to, any of that shit. It was never like that. It was like, oh, I got an Uber, hop in, man. They're gonna drive us around the corner. We're gonna drop off. This guy's gonna go around the block, and then And the Uber driver doesn't care if you're doing a drug deal. They don't care. They know that no matter what, they can't go to jail. They're sober. They're driving. It's not their fault. If you're smart, you don't talk about it, right? But I mean, the Uber driver knows what you're doing when you have them drop you off at a 7-Eleven and you walk around the back of the 7-Eleven, you come back 90 seconds later and some other dude's walking with you, and they leave, and you go in the 7-Eleven and you buy a pack of cigarettes, and you come out and you're like, yeah, thanks man, I needed a pack of cigarettes and I had my friend's ID. They don't know what you're doing, right? But I mean, in the end, you're not driving, so you're not living with the junkies, and you're not living where they live, and they're not people that live in the same house as you. There are people online that are contacting you through Craigslist and places like that, and they're like, and they're happy. And I passed the statute now, so I can brag about this, but about getting away with this scot-free. But I did, and one of the reasons that I did this is I had no competition. I had no competition on Craigslist, none. I had all kinds of competition when it came down to local crews and local bangers and local dealers and local people that ran with my friend Little A, that could see that we were successful in selling 5 different substances and to 5 different crews in 5 different ways and all this stuff, right? And I had both in real life and online, connections and all this. But in the end, when I reached the top, I quit. When I was making $2,500 a day, and $1,200 of it was re-up, but $1,200 of it was my money, and I was looking at maybe potentially making $30,000 a month, or maybe God forbid, like maybe $1 million after a year if it kept rolling forward. God forbid, how can I make $1 million without the FBI catching feelings? And so, like, I did this many times throughout my life. I reached what I would say is essentially the peak of my careers, and I've had several. I reached the peak of the taxi career. I was banging strippers, living in 5-star hotels, making between $20 and $50 an hour, and getting free sex essentially from girls who wanted rides from me. And I was getting high with the beautiful people, and I was making lawyer doctor money, $50 an hour, you know what I'm saying, cash, 50 cash, not 50 like taxes or any of that other shit. It was like 50 cash an hour. Some of that is gas and upkeep and mileage and all that, which I tracked very, very carefully. But I reached in essentially what I consider to be the essence of being the best taxi driver in Denver. When that happened, I immediately got a job with the cartel, who offered me $500 an hour to drive cartel people around. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck cares if they've got drugs or loot or whatever? Who the fuck cares about that? You're an Uber driver with plausible deniability, right? Who has a private client who didn't tell you what they're doing. Why would they do that? And who works for the cartel? No, I have zero associations with the cartel other than a phone number for, I give rides to people. That's what I do. I don't ask them where they're going. It's plausible deniability in a very and real verifiable way. And honestly, all it really is that you're taking between $20 and $500 to drive somebody somewhere. It doesn't matter what they have on them. You're a legal driver. You're sober. You're working legally under the auspices of the law. You are not violating the law. That person is, You're violating the law technically if you knew about it, but you don't ask them. You don't ask them what they're doing or anything like that. And that's how I went from being a taxi driver making $20 to $50 an hour to a cartel driver making $500 an hour. I mean, it's not like I called up the cartel and said, hey, you need drug dealers driven around? They called me up. They asked through a friend through me, and they're like, do you care about driving, dudes to Colorado Springs, and it's like 5 hours of your time, but we'll pay you $100 an hour. So $500 an hour if you just don't ask questions, which you shouldn't be doing as a taxi driver anyway. Now, should you, right? And they're right about that. Same as it's almost lawyer. It's like being a taxi driver is almost like being a chauffeur driver is almost like being a lawyer or a doctor. You almost have like patient client confidentiality. One of the things that I learned about when I was a taxi driver quite a lot was that if I dealt with hot women. In a social scene, the men around them would constantly ask where they were going. And I constantly did not tell them. And I would piss off some people about this. Like, where's she going? I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you where does she go? All the time, these dealers are like, where'd she go? Where'd she take her? I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that. Same way I wouldn't tell the FBI where my ride was going, because all it is a ride to me. I don't ask the guy's name. I swipe his card on my little QWERTY swiper, my little Squarespace trade swiper. And sure, I pay my taxes. I don't care if he's cartel. That's not my fucking business. You know what I'm saying? And so smart cartel use Uber. You know what I'm saying? And I used to tell it to them to their face. Smart criminals use Uber. I used to laugh about them in the cab. I'd be like, "Smart criminals, hint, hint, use Uber." And I was saying this because I myself was a drug dealer. My passenger was a drug dealer. But at no point was any law going to be broken or anybody go to jail, because everybody's legal. Everybody's sober. I mean, the drugs aren't legal, but the ride is legal. You know what I'm saying? And by no right should the ride be pulled over. There's no reason why the government should ever have a reason to pull over a taxi car. I'm sure they do it, and they probably have probable cause a bunch of the time, but they don't have it with me. Because all I know from my clients is that they call up, they say, I need to go from point A to point B, I'll pay you this much, and I need you now, so I'll pay you extra, and you say yes. And you show up, you don't ask them questions, you don't ask them their fucking name, you only ask them where they're going and how you'd like to go about it, and you make small chat with them. That's the job as a taxi driver. I rose to the top. I've done this before. I was making $500 an hour by the end of it, right? And I did that successfully. As a drug dealer, I rose to the top, and I was making $1,200. It was traceable, but barely. And and there was no questions asked. I didn't have gang capos. I didn't have gang members. I didn't have pushers or dealers on the streets. I was making between 20 and 25, 100, between 50, 70, and $90. Usually 100 because they would tip for gas and shit like that. Usually like 60, 80, $100 and shit like that, right? Between 60, 80, $100 an hour for usually 24 hours to 36 to 48 to 72, depending on how long I would go. And I would clear rides, I would clear deals, I would clear. All consenting adults, all good people who didn't have charges. I assumed they didn't have charges. I'm sure they did, but I just assumed they don't because they're my clientele. I like them. They're my clientele. They made me who I am. They made it possible for me to buy a house. That's the American dream. And I didn't sell drugs to them, and I didn't help them sell drugs. I suppose I did help them sell drugs, but I didn't do so willingly. I just drove them from point A to point B. Strippers love me. Gang capos like me. Gang members like me. Fucking bartenders love me. Cops like me because I keep drunks off the street. Everybody loves the taxi driver, and that's what my name in the scene was, the taxi driver. Scorsese did a movie about the taxi driver in New York. That's about so opposite from my life. That Travis Bickle is the complete fucking opposite of who I am. The complete opposite. Everybody thinks I'm Travis Bickle because I have no friends and I don't talk to anybody. But no, the future. I'm sorry, the history does not. The history does not support that assumption. It really does not. It's actually more like Dirk Diggler. My life was a lot more like Dirk Diggler than it was like Travis Bickle, even though I was the taxi driver. It was a lot more like Dirk Diggler than it was like that. You know, like I was never Travis Bickle. I was never bitter and alone and, you know, afraid or any of that shit. You know, I was very, very disappointed with the death of a lot of my friends and family. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I wasn't a very down in the, you know, I wasn't a positive person but I wasn't a very negative person either. And so, where I'm going with this is having built that successful business as a taxi driver, it immediately translated to being a really successful online drug dealer, which immediately translated to being just a really successful online like drug dealer, period. And then getting out of that, I had made enough money to buy a house, and I worked enough and fixed enough laptops, like things I used to do for money. Drive girls around, drive strippers around, drive people around, drive Uber, drive taxi. I would work construction. I would flag cars for construction. I would paint. I would do odd jobs with my friends. I would sell things. I would buy things and sell them. I would buy clothes from the Ark and I would sell them at consignment shops. I would steal things. I would hustle. I would stay up all night and I would buy things off Craigslist and resell them.
Your skill has increased.
And scams. Like, this was all because I was on the streets. I did not have a home or any place to rest or anything like that. I did what I did to survive. And when I stole, it was for like $20. I never ripped anybody off for a large amount ever, or I would have an enemy. I don't have any enemies because I didn't rip anybody off for large amounts, you know? So, and never people that I knew. And so, like, you know, having done all that, like, having built 3 successful businesses in my lifetime and 2 successful LLCs, I'm on my way for the 4th on this stream, even if it is only 5 population for the rest of my life. I consider that a success. But see, the difference is, this time around, I wasn't looking to try and make a home out of it, or a life, or food, or the most beautiful. I consider my ex-girlfriend to be the most beautiful woman on the planet. Sure, I'm biased, but I think a lot of people would agree with me. I do. I think a lot of, maybe I'm just fundamentally biased, but I think a lot of people on the planet would agree with me that she is the most beautiful woman on the planet, right? So I spend most of my time chasing the most beautiful woman on the planet. I spend most of my time chasing the hardest job to attain on the planet, which is being a successful video game content creator. It's the hardest one. It's easier to talk about horse glue than it is to talk about video games, because it's such a saturated fucking market that the likelihood of you actually being able to successfully do that is so fucking low that I'd say it's like essentially the same thing as being Kobe Bryant. I would say. Ninja did it, so I believe I can do it. Like, you know, a lot of my peers are doing it. I believe that I can do it because I can maintain like talks like this all day if I have a good enough reason to. But most of the time I don't, you know, I just keep playing games. But when I do have a reason to, I do. And I'm just saying, like, you know, like a lot of people stepped in the last 2.5 years trying to tell me how to run my business, try to tell me how to run my stream, try to tell me how to run my censorship, try to tell me how to do my business, try to tell me how to do my tags and my languages and all my shit. And I was like, yeah, you do this, and then you tell me how willing you be to try to listen to somebody else tell you how to conduct your business. You try to be a drug dealer or a lead singer and these are things that I've successfully done. I've been a successful lead singer. Not successful, but I did it for 8 years without failing. You know, won Battle of the Bands kind of stuff. And I would say that, like, being successful by my standards, not the world standards, in 4 different careers, and this is my 5th one. I understood that, yeah, if you listen to other people, they better be as good as you. They better be in the arena with you, fighting you every day. And they better be like as old and as seasoned as you, with as many hours as you have on as many games. If you're gonna compete or compare at all, they must have those things, you know. So, and that's where I'm at now. And I don't need to be Usain Bolt. What I want is a million Usain Bolts all playing Final Fantasy XI, EVE Online, WoW SoD, FFXI, Rust, whatever. I want a million other qualified people who have 10, 20, 30, 40 years of this under their belt. 50 years, all playing the same games that I do, understanding that none of us can really be Kobe. We should all just love and respect each other and try to strive and try to survive, And to the trolls and the people trying to destroy me and attack me and threaten to kill my family right now, I would like you to second guess yourself and second, I would like you to reconsider. I'm asking you to do this. One of the things I think about all the time is that I don't ever ask you to do this. I would like you to ask you to reconsider, based off the fact that every other streamer out there is out for the clout, out for the success, out for the money. I'm out for a personal history. You come and you fuck with me. Like, it's not the same thing. You're never gonna get anybody listening to you do it. You're never gonna get props from anybody for doing it. You're never gonna get like, oh, it's a honeypot and let's go pay attention to this guy or any of this other stuff. Because the chat will always be off. The respect and the acknowledgement will always be conspicuously absent in my for my community. It'll be there for me, but it won't be there for the community. It'll always be conspicuously absent because I am not in a race with anybody else but myself. I don't care what anybody else thinks about my work or how well I play or what they think about my life or any of that stuff. I'm not in a race with you or anybody else. I don't care what your feelings are about it. I don't care what your assessments are. You're not in the race with me, God damn it. Well, at least he's killing the elemental fairly well. The attack didn't work. I need you to heal. Oh boy, I am distracted today. I'll tell you. Let's see. But I still managed to get a full couple of loads of ice while I was doing this, so I must be doing fairly well. Still making money. You know what I'm saying? Bitch got my money. Okay, so I am out at the belt. I am not mining. And I'm going to... Yep. Jettison. And then I'm going to come and leave. Oh boy, that was an hour and 53 minutes, guys. But I'm done with the rant. I can feel it.
Warp drive active.
Oh, am I poisoned? Yeah, I'm bioed. That's okay. Well, I want to land a beautiful gamer girl like Cloud Candy or Miru that has the same lifestyle that I have. And I want to settle down and be happy and married and have kids or some variation of that. Even not have kids, I'd be okay with that. And I want acceptance for my career because I've never had it my entire life from anybody, and it'll be just as hard now. And I want to keep striving and thriving. And I don't care about how well I did that day or how well I did in a particular battle or what, or any of that stuff. I don't care about people trolling me when I die. I don't care about any of that stupid shit. And I just wonder why that seems to matter so much to some of the people who have been negative to me. They seem to think that I care. I don't. I think it's pretty obvious, like in how I blocked my chat. You know, I didn't block my chat. I just, if you wanna talk to me, you have to pay me. You know, because otherwise I'll just do this for free for the rest of my life. You know, and build a personal history for 50 years of the MMO lifestyle. I actually had a vision, and I don't want it to change. I want 3 to 5 games on my channel every single fucking day for the rest of my fucking life. I don't want that to change. I think the first thing that will happen is if I ever have any success with it, they're going to be like, okay, you need to change the paradigm. And I'm going to be like, fuck no. I'm going to do 3 to 5 games on my fucking channel every single fucking day for the rest of my life. And if they make them better, I'll play one single main, you know, but that's unlikely. Knowing the current developers, I don't think they're gonna make a good game. So I'm gonna play 3 to 5 fairly good games all at once to get a good a superb experience, because I can't get a superb experience on a single game anymore. So Rust was like that the first 2 years, but that was the last time that I played a game that I felt gave me a truly superior initial experience than anything else that I had ever played. The first 2 years of Rust definitely came on like heroin or like the love of your life or something like that. It really was like really strong. So now I don't want to play any games that don't make me feel like that anymore. I know that sucks, but I don't want to buy or play any games that don't make me feel like that anymore. Oh, I do. I want to buy games that I think belong in my collection as a collector. And I'm not a game collector per se. I don't collect games. I just want the games that I'm a game collector when it comes to the idea that the grid might go down. So I want games that can play forever. That's what the MMO lifestyle is. Games that can play forever. Rust you can play forever. It's boring, but you could play forever. It's engaging enough that you probably could. If you only play Rust forever, you would be really sick of it. But I mean, like, you know, you can play Rust forever. It's got enough varied gameplay where, like, EvE and Rust and I would say FFXI have enough varied gameplay in them where you can play it forever. But that's very rare. And so that's what I'm looking for. They don't make games like that. I think sometimes that New World might be a game like that if they embrace their more hippie side and less of their like, you know, their fucking corpo side. But because their initial vision was really good, like Rust. But I don't think I don't think they stuck to it. And so now I think New World might be dead. But I thought New World might be a contender. You know, they're bringing controllers to New World on March 12th, and I learned about it for the last, 2 hours of YouTube watching that I did in between the stream and last night and the stream now. I watched 2 hours of YouTube, and all of it was about New World and how they're really improving New World a lot really fast. And so now they're adding controller support in March. You can't rebind the keys yet, but you can play on controller in March. And they are... they are connecting the world's dungeon. They're doing cross world dungeons, mounts in the OPR, and all this other stuff. And so while none of those improvements really impressed me, except for the UI change that they're gonna do because of the controller. But yeah, their UI is garbage, and they've got to fix that UI. Your UI is garbage, and you must fix it. It's the worst UI in the history of MMOs. Opening the inventory sometimes hard locks so bad. You must fix it. Don't release a UI change until you do. They have the worst. You have the worst UI in history. You really do, and I'm not being hyperbolic. Mortal 2 has a better UI than you, and I mean it. It's more responsive. Sometimes I want to go talk directly to the developers, but I just do it on my stream because I don't think they're listening anyways. So I talk to myself in my community and my people, and just I talk to myself essentially about what they should do, you know, as opposed to what they're doing. Wow, I burned out my XP ring really fast. Nice. Okay, I am out and about on Rust in a safe place. I'm being casted upon. No, no, I'm not. So, oh, I used the re-raise earring, which probably isn't that bad of an idea, but that was not what I wanted. I want my Empress band. What's the ice follow? He's saying tough. I've been really gambling with them. If I had aggro one, I'd be dead. What's the giant? EP. I mean, it's better that I stay in Valdunia now. I just want to be where there isn't spawns, you know? Like, the buffalo is death. So I really gotta watch those. But the giants aren't. And they'll also probably drop, like, pretty good money. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, I gotta start accepting that I gotta be a lot more, like, careful about polling. What aggro? Oh, a giant. It's alright. I'm gonna run a food for this since we're in a kind of a higher difficulty situation. This guy's a Graupel Gigas. I don't know if we know much about him, but let's pull him. I'm gonna go back to my base where it's safe. Pally's back out. It's weird because, like, everybody else's definition of successful is money and cloud and, like, you know, the opposite gender and all this. But my definition of it is doing what you wanted to do successfully in your own eyes. And that I have done a lot in my life. I am very happy with my life. I think a lot of people think that I'm supposed to feel shame or something, but I don't. I don't feel that. I'm very happy with my life. I didn't harm anybody. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Da, na, da. I'm on the right way, right?
Warp drive active.
Ice flow. The stupid giant and his cat are what I want, but they're so movie. If I get Link here, it's bad, bad. Also, it'd be good, yeah, to get the pet for free. I love that the roar hits both of them. It's so cool. The tiger has a very strong paralyze. Like the strongest in the game, maybe. So it's a very good pet. Paralyze means that when they go to try to do something, every auto swing or every ability,
Docking request accepted.
the paralyze just causes them to lose that.
Warp drive active.
Ooh, the Giants are paying well. This is where I should be. That's good. I just hope the Buffalo don't aggro me and take it all away. The Giants are squishy, too. For some reason. I don't know why Giants are squishy, but they are. Did the Buffalo... Oh, the Buffalo doesn't aggro at all. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, it would be too mean. It's like the first day of spring, really. It's awesome. The winter's finally over. I like watching the seasons pass. I didn't used to. Like, you couldn't ever say that I was depressed. I was angry. Like, you know... I would come back with anger, and I didn't lose control of it ever, but it still cost me all kinds of problems. This fight went forever. Giants aren't dropping socks, which is annoying. Paralyzed. No, you just didn't cast the ability or something. What was that? Damn it. Yay, I think the heli's finally leaving. I'll go back out again. guess I'll take that. Oh, you killed my dagger? Yeah, you killed my dagger.
You've been examined. Six arrows is no good, I guess. I'm dead. Thunder two. Distracted. Oh, did my bag get reduced? That's weird. Why is the bag reduced?
I like the softer music, actually. It's good style. Yeah, like lower. Right, like lower. My heli blew up today, which is so sad, Panda. Oh, do I have my graphics turned down again? No, I have it all on all the way. Oh, my son went out. Idiots. Oh, somebody just got in there. You south side of it. I don't want anybody to know I'm here, so I have to kill them with a bow without getting bit. It might be kind of hard, but I'll try. I don't want anybody to know I'm here because I had a visitor yesterday. I don't want one today. Took all the wood in the fucking fire. This was like 500 wood or something like that. It's funny. Well, Yeah, so now I want to buy... I suppose I should take... well, I guess I'll fill this, yeah. I just have a nice collection of seeds so far. I just need water now. I suppose water would be the first thing. Oh, I brought a water catcher, didn't I? I thought I did. No, what happened to that? Oh, I think I disenchanted and I shouldn't have. Damn it. That's okay.
Warp drive active.
Okay, I'm back in it. Let's buff up. We'll fight some giants. I have to pee, I think, and I shall go do so. But I will attack a mob first.
Docking request accepted.
Well, no, I'll sit down first, I guess, because I'm not going long. I'll get my mana back. Sorry about that. "60-second sleep, dog. Son of a bitch." They don't buy wolf skulls anymore. I guess not. I'm gonna go look though.
You've been examined.
Oh, these guys drop dark crystals. That's good. Lots of money.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Warp drive active. 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 Docking request accepted.
My sound keeps dying. I'm gonna go back in the corner here where nobody will ever find me. And I'm gonna log out. I quit the client entirely to restart because I'm having sound errors and that's not good. It'll just crash anyways if I don't restart it. So it did something it didn't like with the 7.1 and now it's got a broken like sound. Now the client had a broken sound foundation to stand on and it's best to just restart it. I know the crash is coming and I don't want it happening when I actually have something at stake, you know. So, yeah, I think we're good here, and then,
Warp drive active.
Blizzard Gigas, he's EP. Yeah, with only 8 left, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna bug him. The boost doesn't really serve me right now. I mean, it does, but it's like, I don't know if I'll be able to make the 10 million that I invest. Dead. Water Gaw into a blind eye for half my bar. Nice. Before I could even tab back. Nice. That was cool how you just did half my bar that fast. Nice. My tiger died is why. That's a lot of death right there, but I have been getting some kills. I'm a little higher. I mean, I wish I could do 500, 500 damage in 5 seconds. But the mobs get bonuses that we don't. Yep, Water God 2 directly into the blind eye for fucking 500 damage. So annoying. Literally 500 on a 900 bar. Just out of nowhere. I can't do anything about that. That was going to happen either way. There's nothing I could have done to stop that. Even if I was paying attention, there was nowhere I could have run to or anything I could have done, really. I guess I could have cast the Cure too, but it wouldn't have saved me. I was out of mana. I like looking at some of these, like... I used to be like, it's your fault somehow, it's your fault somehow, it's your fault somehow, it's your fault somehow. Somehow you didn't do something or something like that. And most of the time I'm right. I would say probably 100% of the time I'm right. But also, there's stuff that happens that you just can't stop. especially with these RNG like MMOs with huge alpha strikes, you can't stop that. There was nothing I could have done to stop it. I could have ran from him, I suppose, but the tiger died. I was going to die either way.
The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted.
Weapons are bad, maybe, but I don't know. Like, maybe it's worth it. Let's try a weapon, but they're almost never worth it. They've got these nasty AoEs, and they don't drop any loot. I'll look at Cursed Weapon and see what they drop. I'll fight one while I go look at him, just to see what he drops. Yeah, I mean, they're tanky, but he's EP. It shouldn't be that bad. So, let's go look at Cursed Weapons. They drop Bruised Starfruit. Which is an item that drops in for Cancardian's Cry. Got to keep an eye on him because he'll just slam me. But I mean, look, he's dying fast. Maybe weapons are good, and he's doing like no damage. Yeah, like, can you buy water here? Or, like, water... You can buy this water jug, but you can't get clean water, which is a problem. And I don't even know where the closest fresh water is. Yeah, I will need water catchers for this, and it'll probably not be up until tomorrow until I get those water catchers, like, sitting there for a day. There's nothing really I can do about that. There's nothing I can, like, really change it. Yeah, but like... No, nobody here. Oh no, there's a vendor over there behind the Airwolf, I think. I wish the drones worked, but there just wasn't a map. It just lets you buy from outposts without seeing the map. I think the one that I want is back over here. No, this is the wood vendor. I'm looking for the one by the Airwolf. Yeah, but no water catchers, so it's sort of pointless. Can you make water catcher? Those are really hard to get, the water purifier. Maybe I can make that. Yeah, I think that does work, actually, but I don't know if I can make it. Can I make it? 1 empty propane tank, 15 metal frags, and 10 cloth. That's a strategy that could work. Is I could buy a lot of water jugs and fill them at the, oh yeah, I was going to see if the other vendor buys wolf skull stills, because I don't think he does. No, he doesn't, and I miss it. I wish he did. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I go buy water jugs. That's the only other thing I need, really. I guess I do the water jug route, and I'll run to Bandit Camp, and I'll fill 10 water jugs with water, and I'll purify it. Shit, I don't know. I don't remember where the water jug gets sold. Is it weapons? I think it's weapons or something dumb. Where is this? I don't remember. It's like... Oof. I don't know. It's not that vendor. It must be the weapons vendor, huh? Maybe... I thought I saw a heli for a second. No, it's not this one. Like... I have trouble finding this one always for some reason. How did this go? He was 100 XP. So these weapons are good. Let's see. Is there other ones here? There's one east. And there's one northwest. Because that weapon was a pushover. What about this Lost Soul? What's he? He's EP, but he's 42, but he's still not like, you know, he's not easy per se. We'll just wise scan to the next mob that I want or whatever. Not that one, but this one, yeah. Take me to that one. This guy was good XP and he didn't really like threaten me. That Itemo will aggro me, maybe. Oh, come on. Don't park on the ghost, you fucking dick. Please don't park on the ghost. I need you to pull back. Fucking annoying. I don't know, the weather effects kind of kill my frames. I might turn them off. Just get them off entirely, yeah. Give me a little bit more frame rate. Like a little bit more. Okay, this one's full. Yep, he hurt the tiger a bit, but yeah, look, he pays off clean. He drops wind crystals, which are always worth something, and I don't know, let's try the ghosts and see how they feel. Everything here should be EP. It should be okay as long as, like, they don't rip out some crazy gauze spell or something. Yeah, the ghost is squishy. Yeah, I'll kill all this stuff, I don't care. You cast blind on me? No, that was him as he died. Okay. Nice, he paid off clean and he was easy and he did no damage. Most of this stuff actually pays really well. I just can't get Link and I don't really want Ice Elementals. They hurt too much. Also the Bad Eyes, they hurt too much too. But these other things don't. Man, there's a lot of competition out here. I don't care about killing Lost Souls. I should just make my way into Castle Javal and run and gun. I'll start making my way west. Kill all the demons on the way. They're probably where the real XP is, honestly. I would not mind fighting orcs. Orcs are squishy. Or birds. Birds are squishy too. Like, all the beastmen are kind of squishy. They're like squishy, but they hurt. Yeah, this isn't it. This is not what I'm looking for. It's so annoying. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Is it that guy? There it is, finally. Oh, I can buy seeds? I did not know that. I did not know I could buy seeds. That's actually awesome, except now I need... Currently, I need those. And I will need large planters, but they're 75 apiece, and I didn't bring my scrap. So I'll have to go back. Also, I'm not really clear which side of this is out to where I live. I guess I'll buy seeds, huh? What would be the best thing? I think it's potatoes, I'm fairly sure. Potatoes are pretty hardy. I'll just buy like 60 potato seeds or whatever, and I'll just sell potatoes. Fuck it. Is this the right road? I think it, yeah, I think it is. Dude, this is snow, but I don't really live on this edge of snow. I like the idea of living on like all four sides of the bandit camp in different like capacities. One farm, one base, one hidden base, maybe. But it's a lot of work that I don't really want to dedicate to. I'm just looking for stuff that helps me get XP on this server, give me a reason to play it, because Rust is kind of dying for me. I can feel it. I keep playing it every day because I fiend for it, but it doesn't change the fact that the game has kind of died for me. I need a new sandbox PvP MMO. I took a hard look yesterday. Oop, that's player. Is he player? No. This guy's got the goods. These are high qualities. Yeah, they are, but I don't have any scrap. Having a car would be helpful. What do I have on these? I have medium spark plug and medium carburetor. Spark plug and carburetor. If I get these three, which is 280, I think I will. Oh, I left the horse there. Oh well. Wait, come back, Magic Man. I need you. Yeah, will that buy? It'll buy 2 of them, which is better than nothing. Come back. Oh no, what's this now? Oh, oh, yep, yeah, the mobs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have this full cargo container, right? Yeah. So now, once I'm full again, we will start another. Oh god, he ran this way, did he? Oh, I'll never see him again. Son of a bitch. Did you go down a road or what? No, I'll never see him again. It's alright. I want those car parts, but for what, really? I don't really value it. It's good for raiding. Not good for me. I mean, having a car spawn is nice. But, I mean, it's... You know, honestly, I value a tugboat spawn more than I do a car spawn. Because the car spawn, you have to, like, build all kinds of things to like, keep it safe and all this. What was that sound? That was somebody fleeing. Yeah. This bones did no damage to me at all. Alright, I'm going to go west now. And I'm just going to auto run until I either aggro or get to where I'm going, one or the other. I can't remember where you buy. It's like the back of the Airwolf, I think, is where you buy the large planos. Wish this water was potable. Oh, oops. Yeah. Water barrel. Why is a water catcher here? Maybe it's an outpost. Maybe I should go find out. I should buy like 10 water catchers. It's annoying. I don't know how I'm gonna get around that problem getting enough water catchers. That's not so easy. Can you just make them? No, you can't. You can't. No, there's nothing here that can be... I think I live this way. Oh, I left the horse by the air wolf. How's this going? Good. Good. That's full, so now we'll jettison another. Oh, he dropped, like, right here. Nice. Well, kind of right here. I need the horse. I have some stuff on me now, too. I'm dehydrated now. Nice. Helpful. It's so foggy today. I'm liable to be the only one who could even see this one. Unless somebody dropped it. We do know that Stens was killing Heli at Ranch. That's the second time I've seen them do that. One time at Water Treatment, one time at Ranch. So we know that Stens might be dropping a fucking crate right now, but I don't think so. I think that's open to the public. Old bodies. Oh, that was kind of freaky. Won't lie. This is like my airdrop anyways. It's like falling on my base. Well, this is in front of us, but you can't see it on the horse. It's annoying. If I die to somebody, oh well. Horse is up the hill. This is down the hill. Like, down over here. Oh shit, I did not mean to do that. Son of a bitch. Keep bumping my fucking mouse against the table leg. It's so annoying. Right on the left click perfectly, where it like startles even me, because it's like, why did that happen? Even I don't even feel bumping the table leg, but I did. Fucking table leg. Misfires happen. They probably get people killed. It's fucked up. Yeah, this is me. I'm here. Gonna heal mana. Nothing. It seems like he's nerfed the damn airdrops again. I want Tommies, damn it. I need Tommies! Where am I? Oh my where am I? I have no idea. We go back. Ooh, we didn't know this was here. Wow. So this was his drop. He might be home right now. Why does that look like a trap base? This guy is not interested in me. He might not be very happy that I'm here right now. I'm just gonna leave. This was his airdrop. But he apparently either is offline or he's in there and scared or AFK or something. I am lost. Hopelessly lost. I thought I was at my base, but no. Oh no, there I am. Now I know where I'm at. Okay, now this guy was not close to us at all. He's not close to me. He's totally unrelated. Now I'm gonna get this stuff back to the base, I guess. I think this road is the proper way to do that. Yep, fairly sure. I'm gonna change my contacts tomorrow. My eyes hurt. It's also freezing. I'm gonna turn off the house, or else I'm gonna close the door and turn the heat on, because fuck, man, it's freezing in here. I let the air come in for too long, and now it's like basically outside is inside. That's bad because my pipes will freeze and shit like that. It's not that cold though. It's only like 50. It's like 55. It's like 50 now. But it was 55 for most of this. Okay, here we are. We're in the right place now, finally. Man, I try to keep helis, but I just don't use them either. I don't use them. Jesus, how many fucking shots are you gonna take? Is that, man? 10 people. Damn, I should look at the server listing. Get off this server now. I'm just kidding. Fuck's sake, man. I don't want to hit him without a jackhammer. It takes or a knife. It takes forever. See, there's another one, man. This is Wolf Central. I like these Insem rounds. Those are helpful. Yeah, the Insem rounds are real good. Yeah, and all those seeds and everything. I've got all these seeds. Okay, so I believe